Welcome back to Cowboy and the Indian. I'm the Nooga Cowboy. This is Casey Crockett with Crockett Power Sports, and always fun to come to Crockett Power Sports and look at these cool bikes. Well, this one right behind me, it's got all the buzz going. It's the 2020 Indian Challenger. And Casey, since it was the announcement came out that the Challenger was going to be released, and since the release, it really has been the talk of the motorcycle community.
It has been. It's class leading for its power. This bike is a new engine that Indian's put out, 108 cubic inch liquid cooled V-twin. It's putting out 122 horses and 128 foot-pounds of torque, 1,769 cc's, I believe. But what's new about this bike, in addition to the engine, is that it's a frame-mounted fairing. The Chieftains and the Roadmasters were fork-mounted fairings, like your Street Glides or your Ultra Limiteds. You know, that was their offering for that, but right. Indian didn't have a competitor for Harley's Road Glide, and now that has changed.
I have not had the opportunity to ride one yet, but
we're going to change that.
We are here in just a few minutes, but everything I'm hearing, the technology on this bike is really what sets it apart.
It is. The Dark Horse, which is this model, and the Limited both have the lean angle technology. It uses lean angle sensors that communicate with both your ABS and your traction control to help prevent you from low siding. So your bike would brake differently if you're at a 30-degree lean than it would if you were straight up.
Yeah.
A couple other things that are pretty impressive about the bike: the Brembo brakes, Metzler Cruise Tech tires that were designed just for this motorcycle. I think you'll be impressed when you ride it.
Yeah, man, looking forward to it. And as always, make sure you catch us on Facebook, Cowboy and the Indian. Now we're on Instagram, same name, Cowboy and the Indian. But right now, you know what time it is. Let's ride. All right, YouTube, we are back. Cowboy and the Indian, the Nooga Cowboy. And today, we got a new test ride for you. Something I've been excited about. The Indian Challenger, the 2020 Indian Challenger. Really the talk of the town when it comes to motorcycle enthusiasts. People just really interested in this motorcycle. This is my first time riding with a fairing, so very interesting. Maybe it's not fair to ride the Challenger first as my first fairing bike, because I've heard it's different because the fairing is attached to the frame and not the forks. So maybe it's not fair to the Roadmaster, the Road Glide, etc. So so far, you know, I've been told that this Indian Challenger handles like an Indian Scout or Indian Scout 60. It's got the same lean angle, which is pretty amazing in itself, this being a bigger bike. And I'm only a few minutes into the ride. You can look at this lean angle, man. And everything I've been told is correct so far. Again, take it for what it's worth, because this is my first time riding a bike with a fairing. Riding in standard mode, I might pull over and try to switch it to sport mode to see. I know there's going to be a difference in throttle response. But this does not feel like a big bike. It really doesn't. It's the smoothest ride I've been on yet. I rode the Chief Vintage. I've rode the Dark Horse Springfield. And of course, some of everything in the Scout lineup. This is a bad boy right here. And I think the one thing that's so noticeable is that you don't feel like you're on a big bike. If I can get out some open road, I'll test it out a little bit more as far as acceleration and just performance of the bike. Cowboy and the Indian. it's got some juice. Definitely got some juice. That lean angle though, bro. That's pretty good. It's kind of freaky too, and I know for those of you that have rode a fairing bike before, it's no big deal, but the first time riding one of these, it's kind of freaky because you don't see the front wheel. So that's a small adjustment, but you know, nothing we can't handle. I'm just blown away at how well this thing handles. 2020 Indian Challenger, and I'm not gonna mess with all this business. I'm just worried about riding the bike right now. And just this is almost like a bicycle. At least barely touch it, and it's moving for you. Like, just amazing, the response there. And you could really just go comfy seat. So I could go for days on this, man. If you're worried about all the specs, those will be in the description. Casey kind of discussed some of those in the intro. So just the handling of it is pretty amazing. There we go. We're gonna switch to sport mode. Let's see what that does. Well, I'll tell you, the sport mode, it is, I can already tell it's going to be a different ride. Definitely more responsive. So yeah, I've never been a real fan of the fairing bikes, and to be honest, with the looks of this one, I'm not sure what to think. Oh, come on, what are we doing? You got your own lane, bro. I don't know if you can tell in the video, I kind of went back on that one. So we'll be able to tell a little bit more when we get up here. We'll get on the highway and see what she's got. Again, we're in sport mode right now. Oh, hey-o! Some pickup on this one. Boy, she's got juice. This is just a fun motorcycle, man. Let's put the windshield up some and see how that affects the ride. Yeah, it dunks it off some. Dude, it is crazy how maneuverable this motorcycle is. Crazy. And what a smooth ride too. I ain't gonna talk about the power either, man. You know this thing's got juice. You know it's got power. It's cutting through the air like it's not there. I think that should be a t-shirt. Adjust the mirror. I think I knocked it around a little bit. On another motorcycle, that would be a pretty big bump right there, but you hardly feel it on this one.
know, quite honestly, I don't know. I don't need to ride the Roadmaster after this one. I don't. This is the bike. This is the one. Sturgis, here we come, baby. And today's a windy day too. Pretty windy, and really no movement out of the motorcycle. I know these bigger bikes are going to hold their own as far as wind's concerned a little bit more. Again, you can check the specs in the description. I don't really, I mean, I kind of lost for words here, because this has been a treat to ride. It's the total package when it comes to motorcycles. The seat's very comfortable. The ride is amazing. One of the most, not one of the most, the most comfortable motorcycle I've been on. And I think the power window here, windshield, helps out a lot. That'll take some wind off of you. The handling is really out of this world. I can't believe it handles as well as it does. Again, you got the lean angle of, I believe it's 31 degrees. You kidding me? For a bike like this? So you can really get in and out of the corners. And the power. Don't have to worry about that. You want a drag race? It's your bike. Or are you just simply looking to put some miles on it? And this is your bike too. You will not go wrong with the Indian Challenger. Plenty of guys have reviewed this motorcycle, and even Harley guys have reviewed the motorcycle. And I don't know which one, I don't remember which one it was, but there's this one guy just basically cussing Harley-Davidson, saying, and he's a Harley guy, saying that you guys got to get it together, because he was still going to stick with Harley, and there were some things he liked about his Harley more, and you're going to have that when you have a loyalist out there, you know, whether it's Indian or Harley or whatever brand of motorcycle it's going to be. So you're going to have that. And this is just my, you said the handling is an A+, the power an A+. Now this is coming from someone that's first time riding a fairing bike. Handling an A+, power an A+, the comfort, I'll give it an A-, even though I've been talking or praising the comfort of the bike, but it can always be better. But it's awfully good. You're not gonna have a problem going cross country on this motorcycle. It just doesn't feel like a bigger bike. It doesn't feel like a big bike at all. It feels like my Scout 60. So again, you're kind of sitting up on it and you're in charge of it. You know, I think that's the fear of a lot of people who want to go to a bigger bike, is just being able to control it. And this is not an issue. It's never going to be an issue with this bike. Just an incredible ride. See, you've got the, we'll bring down the windshield, bring it back down to see what it does to the ride. Again, let's switch back to sport mode. Throttle more responsive, as you would expect. A little more jerky, not as in a douche, but you know, with the throttle. And no need to have it in sport mode when we're going to hit some traffic lights. Again, I rode the Chief Vintage, I rode the Dark Horse Springfield, and I thought the Dark Horse Springfield was a great riding bike. I thought the comfort level was really up there. Same with a vintage, but this one takes it to another level. It really does. You can see it just, and again, just a little, I barely touched it. Just see, just like that right there, and it's moving for you. And sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I'm just blown away by how maneuverable this bike is. You add the maneuverability with the power and everything this bike offers. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than some bikes, but I'll tell you, man, it's worth it. If you're a biker, you want a touring bike, or just a bike that you can get out and ride for days, man, this is all I'm gonna say is the 2020 Indian Challenger. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all you need to know. It's kind of like riding a lazy boy with a Ferrari motor. Jesus, awesome. Love the color too. I think it's sandstone something. Kind of give you a look at. Obviously got navigation. Here's our current location. You can attach your phone to it. We got music. Everything you'd want. And like I said, I don't have the radio going, but the radio is pretty BA too. If you're interested, you could join us on Facebook, Cowboy and the Indian. We've also got an Instagram page now. Woohoo! Putting those pretty pics up. So you could join us there. Same name, Cowboy and the Indian. Nice. Ooh, it's just a awesome ride. That's all I can say about it. I really like to get this thing on the track and see what it can do as far as hitting the curb, going in, coming out of it. This would be a blast on the tail of the Dragon. You talk about outperforming all the other bikes, this will do it. Take this thing to the tail of the Dragon, people will be like, how in the world are you doing that? Dude, just say it. It's the Indian Challenger. That's all you need to know. I don't want to get off this bike. I don't. I'm going to be talking about this one for a while. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll answer them accordingly. And if you have, if you have some that any comments where you tell me I suck, I've already had those, so save your breath. If I own this bike, it would be, and sometimes I do, I ride in the rain anyway, but I wouldn't need a car or a truck. Just, hey, what you riding today? Motorcycle. You need it? I've got a Challenger. That's what I'm riding. Let's get down, baby. Get into it. Ah, come on, green light. To really show what this thing can do. Oh boy. Yeah, how long have I been riding a motorcycle? Jeez. I'm putting on a clinic on hitting those gears today. Don't pay attention to that. Jesus, what a ride. See how the seat comes up like this right here? That part right there gives you, actually feels like it gives you some back support. The aesthetics of the bike and how they've made this seat makes it a super comfortable ride. And obviously you got room for the lady friend. Wow, I mean, just impressive motorcycle. It's the best I've ever rode. What else can you say about it? And again, the color, love that one. Still don't know what to think about the fairing. It's growing on me though. Tell you what, I could deal with it. With the performance of this motorcycle, I think it's worth it. Even if you're not a fairing dude like I tend to be, with the performance, the handling, the comfort, everything you get, being able to lock up your stuff, and everything that comes with the bike, the technology involved here, definitely a bike that you want to take home with you. It's that simple. A must-have from Indian. The 2020 Indian Challenger. Facebook, Cowboy and the Indian. Instagram, Cowboy and the Indian. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. I'm the Nooga Cowboy, and this is Cowboy and the Indian.